Hey everybody, and welcome back to another weekend roundup. Today we're going to take a look at the mods released in the Giants Mod Hub for the week of March 11th through March 15th. And let me tell you, there were a ton of mods released this week. 37 mods in total released this week. Several updates, but a ton more new mods. Let's go ahead and, let's just take a look at the Giants Mod Hub website and just have a kind of a quick overview of the mods released this week. So, for an update, we had the transfer forks, which were updated, and we can see that they basically changed the new normal map, new gloss, new store image, and basically changed around a few things and added a new model that we're going to be able to take a look at, or a new model that you can take a look at. We're not actually going to look too terrible close at any of these updated mods, just because there's so many darn new mods out there this week. We've got a couple Bale forks that we'll take a look at. This is an interesting mod. It's a placeable silo extension. Now, we do kind of wish that we had maybe silos that were like this that we could fill from the top with an auger, but we've got a cool silo extension nonetheless. We've got an interesting little trailer here and an interesting script mod. Now, this mod was out for Farm Sim 17. Basically shows the angle and pitch of your front loader forks or tools. We've got an update to the lime station. Basically, it fixed the collision area around the tower so that you can place it closer to buildings. Got a placeable set of bunker silos. We've got the trailed Silo King that is available in multiple capacities. You've got a cultivator, a front 3-point hitch water tank, some more placeable silos, another cultivator. We've got an update on the silage leveler here. Just basically, I guess, fix the name of the mod. No other changes, I guess, were done to it. And we go over here to the first page. A new manure spreader, Limpkin pack. Now, these are basically some subsoilers, look a lot like the Coon and the AgriSim subsoilers. We've got an update to Marble Manor, and man, there is a lot of changes that got added to this map. So just go ahead over to the Mod Hub and take a look at that changelog for your own self. We've got a new and updated heating plant. This mod, interesting enough, was released early. I think it was released on a Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. No, it was released on a Tuesday and then updated the very next day because when it was released, it was technically broken. You had a very hard time of getting, if at all, getting wood chips into the trigger. So it was quickly fixed the very next day. We've got an update to the bag and lifter pack. Fixed a language L10 in setting, tweaked the bag lifter arm controls, added 3-point hitch control, and added extra visuals when emptying bags. So again, we're not going to look at these updates, but if you are using any of these mods that are updated, I would suggest you go ahead and get the update. We've got a new plow, an interesting script mod related to sprayer usage, an interesting script mod also related to how dedicated servers save. And we're going to talk about this one when we get over to the scripts. Well, let's just go ahead and talk about it now because I really can't easily show off the way this mod works in comparison to the normal gameplay. But what the description says is this mod is suitable for dedicated servers. As soon as the last player leaves the server, the save game will automatically be saved. Well, that's pretty cool. I like that as soon as someone leaves, or the last player leaves the server, it saves the game. That's nice. If no player is on the server, the auto-save is stopped. This prevents overwriting useful save games by the backup manager. There is no change and effect in single player. In multiplayer mode, the mod must exist on the client also. So, I'm not too keen on the second half of this mod. Basically, if the server is empty, it stops the autosave function. So those that aren't familiar with running a dedicated server, you have an option to set up an autosave time frame. I typically set my servers to autosave every hour. That way, if in the event that there's a problem, well, you'd only really lose 1 hour or up to 1 hour's worth of gameplay. But with this mod in, while it saves as soon as the last person leaves the server, let's say 10 hours goes by before someone else comes into the server, it's not saving the game at all during those 10 hours. Now, on our servers that I set up, I typically uncheck the pause if empty box, which means that the server's running for 10 hours during that time that no one's on there. And then when the next person jumps on, then I guess it turns autosave back on. But for those 10 hours, nothing got saved. So let's say the server just up and restarts 8 hours into that 10-hour gap from when the last person was on to the next person comes on. Basically, you're going to roll back the game 8 hours to the point when the last person got off, and then 2 hours are going to go by, and the next person's going to get on. And it's, in effect, only going to have changed 2 hours worth from the last time the person got off. So I'm not really cool on that. Wish there was a way, maybe there's a way to go in the XML and change it around so it doesn't disable autosave, but it still saves when the last player leaves. That would be kind of convenient, because if you're wanting to bounce the server to activate a new mod, you want to do it when it's empty so you don't kick anybody off the server. And sometimes it's not overly convenient to have an admin log into the server after everyone's gotten out, save it, and then shut the server down so you don't lose any information. It's pretty convenient that it saves when the last person leaves. Then a server admin could shut the server off, update the mod, add the new mod that was requested, activate it, and then start the server back up. And in effect, they wouldn't lose any progress or time on the server. So that's basically Steady Save. It's only really good for those people who work or use dedicated servers. And you need to make sure that everyone that connects to the server also has this in their mod folder. Another script updated today was the Create Fields with Cultivator by Whoopster, or this week, I should say. Basically, what this allows is it allows cultivators to have the Create Fields function, which previously was limited to just those that were plows. So that's a pretty cool script, and we're going to take a look at that. Got another silage bunker. We got a semi-trailer, silage forks, pallet forks, another cultivator, a really cool old bale trailer. We're going to take a look at that. Buy all crops silo, an interesting rake, placeable sheds, trailer. Really cool. I really like this small flatbed trailer. This was in 17. Glad to see it got brought into 19. And we've got another silage leveler that's been updated. And basically some new textures were put in, and the model was completely rebuilt. So while it's an update, it's pretty much a new mod. Look at that. That's pretty nice wear texturing on the mod. And then we've got today, on Friday, we got 2 more mods, a trailer and an IT runner hook lift truck. So that is the quick and dirty rundown. Only took about, I don't know, 8.5 minutes to quickly run down all 37 mods released this week, just at the very high level in the mod hub. Something else that got updated every day this week. So so far we're on a good trend with the new community manager of 05 Chris. He's updated this daily updates mods in testing thread every day this week. And this is the update for Friday. There are now 139 mods pending testing. Just a few weeks ago, that was like 230. So it's really nice that we're down so low. But oh my gosh, I don't know if I can deal with another near 40 mod week dump. That is pretty. This video is going to be pretty long. I'm going to split it up into multiple parts. But interesting mods listed as being in testing. We have a transfer tool. This has caused quite the curiosity, at least in my Discord, as to what this transfer tool might be. We're kind of hoping that it allows you to transfer things from one farm to the next in multiplayer. It'd be nice if you could sell somebody, let's say, some bales or some equipment. You could transfer equipment from one farm to the next. We've got also, looky here, everybody, follow me. Follow me is in testing. Look at that. People have been waiting for that mod, and it is released in testing. We'll see how quick it gets out to everybody. Horse riding. This is an interesting mod. I wonder what this could be. Now there already is a mod out that basically lets you automatically have your horses ridden at 11 p.m. It's hard to say what this one might do. I think the other one is called Horse Helper. This one's called Horse Riding. Not really sure. Got the Lizard Rumbler van. Bill Landscape Midland. Sounds like a map. We've got PGR. This is definitely a map. We've got a new, I guess this is a chainsaw. Let's check a look. Yep, this is a new, no, it's a chainsaw. Interesting enough. And a lighted bunker silo for consoles and PC. So that is kind of a high-level look at the mods that were both in testing this at the end of the week and in the mod hub released this week. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started. And the first mod we're going to take a look at today is the Man IT Runner truck. Let's go ahead and get that pulled up. This mod is available for all platforms. Find it here under Trucks. Got the Man TGS 18.500 IT Runner. We can compare that to the TGS 18.500 4x4 right here. $130,000 in the IT Runner format. It is $180,000. 500 horsepower. There we go. We can get it in Trelleborg tires, or Lizard tires, or, oh, that's it, Trelleborg or Lizard. And in Lizard, we've got, look at that, 3 axles in the back, all dual tires. You get red. We can basically do all kinds of color schemes here. Should we so wish? How about that? That is quite the interesting color scheme. In this configuration, with all of the color schemes, $184,800, $9,424 to lease, $1,848 per day, and $3,880 per operating hour. Let's go ahead and lease this up and take a look at it here. Looks pretty interesting. We've got a front hitch, so I'd like to let's just basically get a trailer and see if that front hitch works. We'll get a pin hitch trailer. It's that one. And we'll get a ball hitch trailer. That is that one. And we'll see if that hooks up. Now I don't have the I didn't activate the IT runner pack, so we're not going to be able to actually hook this up to anything. Got a rear hitch also with what looks like dynamic hose hookups, which ought to be pretty darn cool. Front lights, rear working lights, and top and side lights, it looks like. Got our beacons. Rear beacon. Got 4 ways. Left and right blinkers. Round. And of course, X will unfold the truck and extend it out I have to say, this looks an awful lot like the, they just basically took the IT Runner trailer and basically cut off the rear of the truck. Because I think the IT Runner pretty much has this exact fender set up and everything. But still, it's pretty cool implementation. I'm going to go ahead and toss on the head tracking and take a look around real quick inside. Alright, let's take a look around inside here. Let's turn on the lights. We do have illuminated dash, which is cool. Steering wheel turns. Everything looks good. And oh, take a look at that. We can at least see some of the, if we go like this, you can really see the rear, not the rear with respect to hooking up the trailer. I'm not too sure about that mirror. It's a little on the outboard side, and this mirror could probably be swung out a little bit. I don't think I need to see that much of the rear, but overall it looks like a pretty cool interior. In fact, looks like the seats going up and down. Let's see, do we see our farmer going up and down? I can't get any. Yeah, we do see him going up and down, shifting. So that's pretty cool. Alright, let's hook up to these trailers and basically see which trailers we can hook up to. Alright, so we're going to hook up to the ball hitch in the rear. And we do have hose hookups right there. So let's go ahead and hook up the front and see if the front hitch is merely decorational or if it actually functions. Right, well, obviously it doesn't work with that trailer. I think I mentioned that this mod is available for all platforms. This mod is by FA285634, the BART Team NLD Farmers. So it's by both of those modders over at NLD Farmers. Alright, so the front hitch works with the pin hitch, but does not connect to the ball hitch. There you go, guys. We've got the man IT Runner trailer, or our truck. Just going to go ahead and park it over here out of the way for a little bit. And we'll get on with our next mod, which is the PLN 6-35. This is a plow mod. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get rid of these trailers. And we can get rid of the truck too, actually. So this mod can be found over here under Tools and then Plows. We've got the PLN 6-35. This mod is available for PC players only, and it is by Russ Agrotech. Now, interesting enough, this thing is a 6-bottom plow. It's 2.1 meters, 210 horsepower. You do have the ability to change from red to green or to blue. No other options are available. It's $6,350, so it's pretty cheap. $323 to lease, $63 per day, and $133 per operating hour. Now let's take a look and see how this our mod plow compares as far as width-wise and price-wise and how horsepower range to some of the other approximate 2-meter mods in the in-game or in the in-game plow section. So we got the Salford plow, which is 2 meters for $13,000, just 85 horsepower on that one. We got the POH5 at 14,000 horsepower. That is 2.5 meters and is 180 horsepower. So already the PLN 635 is cheaper than both of these, but is 210 horsepower requirement. That is pretty darn steep compared to some of the other mods or plows in that same general size range. It doesn't look like this plow will do any type of reversing or flipping either. Let's go ahead and get a tractor that is compatible with that power requirement. Maybe a New Holland. We can get one big enough. Nope, we need to go bigger than the T6. We go to the T7. Yep, the T7 will do. Whoa, the monster tractor for the seemingly small plow, or smaller plow. But we definitely don't have the rotate function. So if we want to turn around, we're either going to have to basically start by plowing on the outside and just basically make big runs up and down the field, but basically going to the other end of the field and running down, or just foregoing any sense of plow realism and just plow away at our heart's content without worrying about flipping it. There we go. It's pretty good. I don't see any sort of animation going on other than just the dirt coming off of the plow boards. And of course the wheels rotating as it is working. Alright guys, so that is the PLN 6-35 plow from Russ Agritech. And again, it is available for PC or players only. Now let's go ahead and start taking a look at some silage implements. First up, we've got a silage fork by NicoPix, and it is available for all platforms. So if we go to tools and then go to front loaders or wheel loaders, see we've got the silage fork, $4,100. The same price as the in-game silage fork. Now the in-game silage fork basically rotates up the sides, whereas the modded silage fork actually has a big claw that comes down from the top and basically bites into silage. It has 5,000 liter storage capacity, and we can change the color of the spikes to whatever color we should so wish for a $150 markup. Like I said, $4,100, $209 to lease, $41 per day, and $86 per operating hour. And this particular fork is also 5,000 liters. No, I don't want to use this one. Let's go ahead and just get this one just to take a look at it. Got so many mods in this roundup, I'm not actually going to bother with too much with respect to this mod. I definitely am not going to go and get some silage and basically use it with silage, but I do want to get it hooked up to this wheel loader. because I want to see how it unfolds and moves. Basically, if it moves well with the attachment points or if it kind of floats away. It looks like it is holding tight pretty much to where we have set it to be. That is obviously with the left mouse button going up and down and left and right to tilt it. Then if we right mouse button and we go to the right, we close the mouth, and if we go to the left, we open the mouth. And if we hit the X button, see we're unfolding silage fork. Hit it again, we'll fold it back up. Guys, again, that is the Silage Fork, $4,100. It is available for PC and console players and is by NecoPix. Alright, next up we've got some more silage working implements. We've got the got the Flea Go Duo. Sorry, I was skipping through some Bale forks that I was taking a look at. Flea Go Duo, which is an interesting silage leveler. So if we go under tools and come over here to levelers, we've got the in-game levelers here, and then we've got the Flea Go Duo, which kind of looks like a tedder or a windrower, kind of. But instead, it is a silage leveler. Not a lot of information to go off of on the in-game mod hub. It's got a working width of 3 meters, as you can see here. $4,000 to buy, $204 to lease. It's $40 per day and $84 per operating hour. You see it has a 3-point connection and is PTO driven. Looks like we also are going to have some hose hookups. And I think the way this works is basically you back into the bunker with this thing on and spinning, lowered down, and I guess it would chop through the silage and basically move it around through the just mere fact that you're driving through it, and spread around the silage. So let's go ahead and get one. Well, let's get a small tractor to work it with. We'll get to 5600. Let's go ahead and hook up to it and just see how it attaches and unfolds and whatnot. See, we do have hoses. If we hit X to unfold, see the sides will fold down. We'll hit B to turn it on. And basically those things rotate. Then we can lower it down. Raise it up. I don't know if this particular design would be more effective at moving silage around and leveling it in game, or if it is more of what's the word I'm looking for? More of a gimmick. That's it. Or not. That mod is by Agritechnic Nordfile, and it is available for all platforms. So let's go back and take a look at some pallet and bale forks by Daz Alex. Go to tools, and we come over here to, let's take a look. Front loader arms. We've got the pallet and bale fork, $800 to buy, $40 to lease, $8 per day and $16 per operating hour. We do have the ability to color our forks, and we can pick between small bale fork or large bale fork or pallet fork. So let's go ahead and just get one of each. It looks like the only difference between the small and big bale forks is the number of spikes. Small has 2, and the big has 4. We should go ahead and swap out our tractor for one that has loader arms. Get a set of loader arms. And now we can basically connect and try out these mods. But if I haven't said it, this mod is available for all platforms. Pretty sure I have mentioned the mod author. If not, it's Daz Alex. Alright, so let's go ahead and hook up to that. Up, down, left, right. Looks like it holds pretty good to the loader arms. And if we go up here, we'll take a look that we have the ability to right click and basically left and right, and we can move the forks, which is pretty cool because sometimes it seems like the holes or the slots for your forks to fit through is just a hair too wide, and as a result you have difficulty getting well, basically getting into or out of a locked door as a result. Or why am I saying a locked door? Basically in or out of a pallet. I don't even know where that even came from, a locked door. And we have the small and the big forks. We don't have any ability to change anything on the smaller big forks, just the pallet fork option. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Voltsinger Bale fork. This is for telehandlers by Timok, TIMOKS_LS. And it is a mod that's available for PC only. So again, this can be found over at the telehandlers section. So if we go to tools and telehandlers, scrolling over here to the, this one, $1,700 for this bale fork compared to the in-game telehandler bale fork of $1,200. In-game bale fork, you don't have any configuration options, and neither do you with this particular option, but it is a little bit cheaper at $1,700. I thought it said $1,200 on the other page. $86 to lease, $17 per day, and $36 per operating hour. No, it does say 17. So was misunderstood. Go. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the mod. Really nice details on these warning labels on the back. Once you come in here and connect this to the telehandler, you're not going to see that area, but it is really nice to see that level of detail and care taken. Alright, let's go ahead and get in our telehandler. I'm going to go ahead and back up here, hook up to the forks, and do our kind of little responsiveness test. Basically see it doesn't lag. Oh, I can't see that. It basically moves very well with respect to the his actions. That's pretty cool. So again, that is the Voltsinger Bale fork by Timok_LS, and it is available for PC only. So guys, what I'm going to do is just go ahead and clean up this area a little bit, and then I'll be right back, and we'll continue on. Alright, now that we've got the whole yard here cleaned up, we've got a fleet of cultivators to look at. Oh my gosh. We had what must feel like 5 cultivators released this week. We're going to go ahead and see how many it really was. So if we go to tools and cultivators, first up we've got the Amazon Ciennis 3002 cultivator has a working width of 3 meters, 9 miles per hour working speed, 100 horsepower requirement, and is $12,000. Let's take a look and see if we've got any other 3-meter cultivators. Indeed we do. We've got the Rao Polymag 300 and the Kuhn Cultimer L300. $7,000 for the Rao, wow, and $16,000 for the Kuhn. Both are 3 meters, 9 mile per hour working width, 120 horsepower for the Kuhn, and 100 horsepower for the Rao. Again, the Amazon is 100 horsepower, so it is kind of right there in the middle of that range. Quite an interesting and compact little tool with what looks like 5 rows of implements or tools on this particular mod. Let's go ahead and lease this thing up. No configuration options. $612 to lease, $120 per day, and $252 per operating hour. This mod is available for all platforms and is by STV Modding. All right, so here it goes. Looks like we do have hose hookups. That's just got one hose. It's interesting. Thought that we would have had at least 2 hoses. All right, so let's go ahead and get a small tractor. I'm going to look for one in the 150 horsepower range, so we can use one tractor for all of these subsoilers and cultivator demonstrations. Go ahead and hook this one up. Does look like we're going to need a weight for this thing. It must be awful heavy. Go ahead and get a decent size weight to counterbalance this particular implement. There we go. Now we should be able to drive around without too much hassle or worry about being front light on the front. We're just going to go up here to the top of the hill where we've got our test field that has some pretty mangled wheat in it from various test runs with cultivators and plows and whatnot. Go ahead and drop this thing down. Strong implement. Drop her on down and go ahead and pull on through here. Alright, well, it looks pretty cool. It's kind of doing its job. 9 miles per hour. Definitely leaving a product swath in the background. Alright guys, that is the Amazon Cintis 3002. So while we're going to go ahead and drive down to the field, let's go ahead and basically talk a little bit about the next set of cultivators. Our next cultivator we're going to take a look at, and that is the Lizard Fila SXHV30. It is by Javier ZZS, BBM, and Vanquish 081 are the mod authors of record. This mod is available for all platforms, including consoles. And it is 7.85 meters in working with, 150 horsepower requirement. So let's go ahead and take a look. Again, under tools, we're going to go to cultivators, and we've got the Fila SXHV30, $25,232, 7.8 meter working width. So let's take a look and see what we have. Got in the 8-meter working width, $68,000. The Amazon Cetus 8003. In the 6-meter working width, we have the Horse Tiger 6DT at $39,000. So wow, we are right there, right close to this 8-meter width at $68,000. But this particular mod is only $25,000. Potentially a pretty good deal there. It is a 3-point hitch option as opposed to a trailed cultivator. $1,286 to lease, $252 per day, and $529 per operating hour. There are no other configuration options on this particular cultivator. So let's go ahead and get it here in the shop, and let's hook up to it. Oh my, this thing is a heavy little beast. And look at that. Woo-wee. We've got an 1,100 pound, not 1,100 pound, 1,100 kilogram weight on the front. And this thing is, look at that suspension, just squat that tractor down. Wow, okay. We are right, this thing is tall too, oh my gosh. Careful if you've got small or low bridges or things that overhang into the road. Let's check that. Let's check that. The rear. Uh-oh. Darn traffic. I need to turn that off. Oh. So look at that. The rear, the rollers, the crusher rollers, they just float there. That's pretty cool. So this tractor is 150 horsepower. This mod lists at needing 150 horsepower. So let's just go ahead and see how well this tractor pulls this particular implement. Go ahead and unfold this thing. There is a fair bit of delay I noticed there with the unfold. That is because we, oh, check that out. It says Fila is stamped there in the metal. That is pretty cool detail. But take a look at these. We've got hooks that when we hit unfold, they slowly raise up and then it starts to unfold. So that is where that delay is coming from. Like the like these shiny teeth here on the arms there. And basically you would replace the teeth. Now what would be cool, we can see the kind of chrome or the stainless bolts on the back. It'd be cool if we could see the heads on the front. Sadly, those don't appear to be modeled into the hooks. So let's see if we can run this at 9 miles per hour with our 150 horsepower. Well, we can run it. Yep, there we go. We're at 8. So we're just right there between 8 and 9 miles per hour with an exactly 150 horsepower tractor. And that is a pretty nice sized working width that will work with such a low horsepower vehicle or implement. Alright, that is interesting. Oh, it's because I folded it while it was lowered. That was interesting. You shouldn't be able to fold something while it's lowered, or it should just go ahead and raise up. That was why when I was driving, it still had the plow texture on the forks. Take a look at this. I'm going to lower it. Oh, we're not getting it now. Darn it. Alright, well, at any rate, if you scroll back a little bit, you'll see where we are. Clearly, we've got the implement rolled or positioned vertically, but we're still getting the plow texture come through. Go ahead and drop that off here and move on to our next cultivator. We've got the Gornick Terra Softer. This cultivator is by White Bull Modding, and it is available for PC only. Scroll all the way over here. We've got the Gornick Terra Softer, 2.5 meters, $13,000. So it is not even the full width of this RAW Polymag, just at 7,000 meters, or the Amazon Cletus mod that we just took a look at. It is a little narrower than that and is more expensive. How interesting is that? It does look pretty sturdily built, though. But overall, looks to be very, very, should I say three varies? Very, very, very similar in overall visual design to the Amazon. I mean, we've got the walls here in the front. Got these two opposing discs all lined up in a row, or a set of two opposing discs lined up here in a row in the second, and then we've got our crusher or roller bar there on the back. No configuration options to lease. We are talking about $663, $130 per day, and $273 per operating hour. So yeah, look at this thing. It is nice, little, and compact. Perfect for that real small map. We do have hose hookups. I don't remember if we had hose hookups on this particular cultivator or not. Doesn't look like we do. Alright, so if you're into the hose hookups and everything, then this mod might be for you, because we do have... Oops. You have hose hookups. Looks quite nice, actually. Alright, so let's go ahead and run back up here to our test field. And I think we've got two more cultivators in the mod shop that we're going to go ahead and take a look at here. Take this little strip. Just going to lower it down. Get to town. Now for this particular tractor, its working width is just about or nearly as wide as the tractor is. In fact, let's go ahead and test that. Let's go this way. Let's see. Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to see is the crop destruction from the tractor going to be wider than the working width of the implement? And that does not look like the case. Pretty cool deal. Alright guys, let's go ahead and put this away and take a look at our next mod, which is the ITS Limpkin pack. And it is by ITS, the modder ITS, and is available for all platforms, PC and consoles. And it is the Dolomite 9 3 and 4 meter subsoilers. Go ahead and drop this one off. So here under subsoilers, we've got, of course, the in-game Agrosim Combi Plow, gold for 3 meters, and the gold 4 meters, $7,000 and $9,500 respectively. We've got the Kuhn DC401 for 4 meters at $10,000, and 130 horsepower, 140, and 90 horsepower. And then we've got the Limpkin Dolomite 9 3 meter, $7,000, 100 horsepower, and the Dolomite 9 4 meter, 150 horsepower, and 4 meter and 7 mile per hour working width. So this one's got 6 vertical claws, if you want to tell them that. Spikes, we can change the main color to whatever we want, and we can change the design color to whatever we want. And we can make it Limpkin or an unbranded variant. Interesting enough. And just like all the other subsoilers, we have the ability to come in here and basically hook something up that's 3-point on the rear. So let's say we had the 3 meter version of this. We could get that. And then we could come over here to our cedars. And we could get the 3 meter variant of this Amazon. Okay, with 3-point hitch. And what we could do is basically cultivate and seed in one pass. We'll connect to that one. Connect to that one. See if we can lower that in the ground. Fix it up. Left click, we can adjust vertically. We can adjust the tilt on the rear implement. Right click, and we can, interesting enough, extend the legs up and down. Let's drop our cedar. Let's go ahead and run up there one more time. We won't need to demonstrate the 4 meter version after we demonstrate the 3 meter version. But you will notice that the one thing that this really does miss is that while this is a subsoiler, it does give us the plow bonus. So we don't need to plow the field after this. Let's go over here to somewhere where I haven't plowed. Let's take a look. Validate. This part of the field definitely needs plowing. Does not need plowing, but this one back here does. So let's go ahead and run down here real fast. And we'll see it remove the need plowing state. But it doesn't leave a plow texture. And as a result of it not leaving the plow texture, we can't use it to create fields. At least not until we learn about the Lobster mod that also got released this week. So we're just going to go ahead and drop this thing down. See, we are obviously cultivating. I'm going to run for a little bit because sometimes the PDA doesn't have the greatest resolution, and if you don't go a decent distance or a decent width, then you won't get it cleared. But you can see that nice strip. Get rid of the neat limes. See that nice little strip there that we are carving away on the yellow. So we are getting the plow bonus, but we cannot create fields, and that is because, well, it's a subsoiler and not a plow. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and leave that one there. And that, guys, should do us for our attachments and implements. Now we're going to go ahead and start taking a look at the multiple... Oh, sorry. We got one more mod to take a look at before we look at the abundance of trailers. We had a lot of trailers released this week in the mod hub. Cheat a little bit. We're going to jump this back to our shop. To yard. And what we've got to show off now is the Fila Juras 14055 Pro windrower. Go to Tools, and we go to Windrowers. Got the Fila Duos 14055 Pro, $77,820. That is pretty expensive. 14-meter working width on this thing. Compare that to the 14.8-meter working width on the Lily Hibiscus. Nothing else in the Mod Hub has a working width close to this one other than the Lily. Now, the Lily comes in at $62,000 and is a little wider, whereas this one comes in at $77,000 and is a little narrower than that one. 140 horsepower or 30 horsepower compared to 110 horsepower. This is an interesting mod. There are no configuration options. $3,968 to lease, $778 to lease per day, and $1,634 per operating hour. So this thing is quite the expensive windrower. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and just hook up to this thing. We might have some grass up here in our test plot that we need raked. Let's go take a look at it. It's a 3-point hitch trailed windrower. We got our PTO hookup. We got our hose hookups. Going to a nice hose bundle there. Alright, so just hang tight, and I'll be back with you once we get up there to the grass field. Alright, so here we are up here at our grass field. We do have some grass down here on the ground that we need to get raked up. Got a little bit of grass growth, though, on top of it. So hopefully we'll be able to see how this all works. Let's go ahead and hit unfold. Press the animation where the rear wheels raise up. Then this thing just folds down. And then, oh, sweet. Everything just kind of extends further out once it folds down. We've got a little board there in the middle. I guess this thing's going to rake to the middle. Lower it down. Pretty cool. Turn it on. Then each one of these spinners has its own kind of wheel dolly underneath of it. So with 150 horsepower, now we are going up a bit of an incline here, but still I've got the pedal to the metal, so to speak, and we are barely crawling up this hill. Maybe when we get to the top, it will pick up. Looks like we're going to need a lot of horsepower for this particular implement. You have lights on the back. Reverse lights. We got our floored and just going 3 miles an hour. Let's go ahead and cut this off, and look at that. We instantly get a whole boatload of power back. See how fast this goes down the hill. Go. So yeah, down the hill we're able to go at a whole 11 miles per hour, but up the hill we were pretty constrained at just 3 miles an hour. So this particular windrower is going to need a fair bit of horsepower behind it in order to basically do its job. Fold it, it kind of collapses in the front. Then it wings up side. Wheels lower. Pretty cool animation. Alright guys, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this part 1, and I'm going to come back and we're going to basically do the trailers, placeables, and script mods in part 2. So just let's go ahead and look for part 2 to show up in the playlist. Pretty darn short, pretty darn close to when part 1 aired. And I'll catch you there.